Strike a tuning fork, and it sings. Bring a second, identical tuning fork into the same room, and without ever being touched, it will begin to hum. It cannot help itself. The vibration travels through the invisible air, demanding a response. The metal recognizes its own frequency. This is the law of resonance. Now imagine that second tuning fork is carried across the world, placed in a soundproof vault, buried under the heavy, dense noise of a distracted, highly structured life. Does the resonance stop? No, it merely becomes a phantom vibration. A hum felt deep within the bone, even when the conscious mind hears nothing but silence. You're sitting in the quiet architecture of your own life. You're managing your career, balancing your responsibilities, maintaining the polished surface of your world. On paper, your reality is secure. You are intelligent. You are capable. Yet, there is a gravitational pull in your chest. A phantom weight, a persistent, quiet echo of a person who is nowhere to be found. You look at the empty space they left behind, and your logical mind demands an answer. You ask yourself, is it just me? Am I imagining this? Am I carrying the entire weight of this connection alone while they have simply moved on? You are not imagining it. The silence you are experiencing from them is not an absence of feeling. It is a symptom of an internal collision. Right now, across the distance, the unawakened counterpart is experiencing a profound psychological and energetic event. They have not forgotten you. In fact, what is unfolding inside them at this very moment is far more complex and far more powerful than you realize. Let us look behind the veil. Let us dismantle the illusion of their silence. To understand what is happening inside the avoidant soul, we must first strip away the romanticized myths. We must look through the dual lens of spiritual psychology and human biology. When silence falls between you, it is easy to assume the worst. It is easy to believe you meant nothing, but this silence is not an absence of feeling. It is the sound of an internal collision. When two deeply entangled souls collide, it is never merely a romance. It is a mirror. You, as the holder of space, reflect back to them their highest potential. You show them their deepest light. But critically, you also reflect their shadow. When the avoidant soul retreats, it is rarely a conscious, calculated decision to hurt you. It is a biological survival mechanism. Their nervous system has been completely overloaded. For the unawakened counterpart, intimacy of this magnitude does not feel like a safe harbor. It feels like a profound threat. Their ego is a psychological fortress. It is an architecture they have spent decades building to protect themselves from pain. When they encounter your frequency, that fortress detects a breach. The profound vulnerability required to truly be with you triggers an alarm. Their sudden departure, their coldness, and their silence are not a lack of love. This is the amygdala hijacking the brain. It is an unconscious terror of losing their carefully constructed identity in the vast ocean of your connection. They are terrified of being consumed. Love at this quantum level demands ego death. It demands that they drop the masks they wear for the rest of the world. For someone who relies on logic, control, and emotional distance to feel safe, this demand is terrifying. So they run back to what is familiar. They seek out shallow waters where they can touch the bottom. They throw themselves into their work, their daily routines, or even karmic relationships. They build mundane walls to block out an extraordinary light. They tell themselves logical lies. They say they are too busy. They say the timing is wrong. They convince themselves that you are simply too much. But here is where human psychology collides with quantum reality. In quantum physics, there is a phenomenon known as quantum entanglement. When two particles interact deeply, they become intimately linked. If you separate them by thousands of miles and alter the state of one, the other reacts instantly. Space and time become entirely irrelevant. Albert Einstein called this spooky action at a distance. You are experiencing quantum entanglement on a soul level. The unawakened counterpart is attempting to build a physical wall between you, but you cannot build a three-dimensional wall to block a quantum frequency. Inside their mind, you are a sudden, unprompted memory while they are driving. You are the strange, heavy feeling in their stomach when they wake up in the middle of the night. You are the invisible standard by which they are unconsciously measuring every other hollow interaction in their life. They try to numb the resonance, but the frequency remains. The vibration travels through the invisible ether of their life, demanding a response. They feel your energy when you are sad. They feel the shift when you finally decide to let go. They are haunted by the very connection they are trying to escape. Carl Jung said that until you make the unconscious conscious, it will direct your life and you will call it fate. The unawakened counterpart is entirely directed by their unconscious right now. They believe they are choosing this distance for practical, rational reasons. They do not realize they are acting out a trauma response. Beneath their fragile logic, their soul is actively wrestling with the profound truth of who you are. They have not forgotten you. They are actively, exhaustingly trying to survive the memory of you. Understanding this changes everything. It removes the sting of rejection. You begin to see their avoidance not as a measure of your worth, but as a measure of their fear. You realize that their silence is heavy with the weight of unsaid things. They are fighting a war against their own awakening. And in this war, their greatest opponent is not you. It is their own resistance to the very love they have spent lifetimes searching for. As the anxious heart, your natural instinct is to view their absence as a tragedy. You see it as a profound rejection. You view it as a problem that must be frantically solved. You spend your days analyzing their silence like a complex puzzle. You track their energetic distance. You wait for the exact moment they will finally wake up so that your life can resume. You believe that your pain will only end when they return to you. Your nervous system interprets their physical distance as a literal threat to your survival. This is the grand illusion of the connection. We must completely flip the script. We must elevate your perspective. We must move your awareness from the terrified, wounded ego to the absolute power of the sovereign soul. Their absence is not a punishment. It is a crucible. It is a necessary, perfectly orchestrated void. This void was designed entirely for your own profound expansion. Think of the laws of gravity. Think of the relationship between the moon and the ocean. The moon does not chase the ocean. The moon does not descend from the night sky, frantic and anxious, trying to force the heavy water to rise. If the moon were to leave its orbit to chase the sea, the entire system would collapse into chaos. The moon simply holds its place. It stands in its sovereign, undeniable mass. It trusts its own gravitational pull. And because it holds its center, the tide inevitably rises to meet it. You are being asked to become the moon. You are being asked to step out of the chaotic, fearful energy of chasing. You are being called to step into the quiet, immense power of holding your own orbit. When you desperately seek validation from the unawakened counterpart, you abandon your own center of gravity. You leave your orbit. Energetically, when you push forward, they must pull back. It is basic physics. It is exactly like two magnets placed on a table. When you push the positive pole toward the other, the second magnet is instantly repelled. It slides away. It cannot help itself. The force of your anxious pursuit creates the exact resistance you are trying to overcome. If you dive into the chaotic, unhealed waters of their current reality to try and save them, you do not rescue them. You only drown with them. You validate their deepest unconscious fear that this connection is overwhelming, demanding, and unsafe. Their retreat is the universe imposing the ultimate boundary. It is a divine intervention disguised as heartbreak. The strict boundary is forcing you to turn all of that profound, laser-focused energy away from them. It is forcing you to redirect it back into your own soul. This connection was never just about a romantic union. It was designed to shatter your illusions. It was engineered to burn away your deeply ingrained codependency. It was meant to forge you into an emotionally sovereign master of your own reality. You have likely spent your life sourcing your worth from how well you can love, fix, and heal others. This connection breaks that pattern permanently. It refuses to let you heal them. It forces you to heal yourself. The deep longing you feel right now is not the pain of abandonment. It is the physical sensation of your own spiritual capacity stretching. It is the pain of your ego cracking open to let the light in. Your ego desperately wants to control the outcome. It wants a logical timeline. It wants a concrete guarantee. But the soul knows that true, high-frequency love requires absolute freedom. When you finally stop fighting the void, something miraculous happens. The exhaustion fades. The desperation dissolves. You stop looking at the empty space beside you. You start looking at the vast, beautiful empire of your own life. You realize that you were never broken by their departure. You were broken open by it. You're no longer waiting for them to complete you. You have remembered that you are already whole. Understanding this dynamic intellectually is only the first step. True transformation requires deep somatic integration. You are tired of waiting in the dark. You are exhausted from carrying the invisible weight of this connection alone. You want true empowerment. You want your profound peace back. To achieve this, you must actively change your internal frequency. You cannot simply wait for the external world to shift. You must initiate the change from within. Here are 3 specific psychological and energetic shifts you must make today. These moves will transform the entire dynamic of this connection. more importantly, they will return you to your own sovereign power. The first shift is moving from tracking to anchoring. Right now, your nervous system is likely locked in a chronic state of hypervigilance. You are tracking the avoidant soul. You are monitoring the physical reality. You are checking their social media. You are analyzing past messages for hidden meanings. You are desperately looking for signs of their return. You believe that if you watch closely enough, you can prevent them from slipping away forever. But this is a painful illusion of control. This external tracking keeps your body in a constant state of survival. It floods your system with cortisol. It signals to your ancient brain that you are profoundly unsafe without them. You must withdraw your energetic tentacles. You must stop tracking their chaotic storm. Instead, you must anchor deeply into your own physical body. When the panic rises in your chest, do not look outward for relief. Close your eyes. Feel the physical sensation of the anxiety. Breathe deeply into the center of your chest. Tell your nervous system that you are completely safe in this exact moment. Tell your body that you are entirely secure on your own. When you regulate your nervous system, you stop feeding the dynamic of anxious pursuit. You become a grounded force. You become an immovable anchor in your own life. The second shift is reclaiming your projected gold. In Jungian psychology, there is a powerful concept called projecting the gold. We often take our own highest qualities and project them onto another person. We take our capacity for unconditional love. We take our deepest sense of worth. We take our ultimate joy and we place it entirely inside the unawakened counterpart. When they left, it felt as though they took all the color out of your world, but they did not take the color. They only took the mirror. You believe that you cannot access profound love without their physical presence. You believe they hold the exclusive key to your spiritual completion. You must take your gold back today. You must recognize a profound truth. The breathtaking, transcendent love you felt in their presence was actually generated from within you. They were merely the reflection of your own magnificent capacity to love. You own that high frequency. It belongs entirely to you. You do not need their permission to feel it. You do not need their presence to embody it. You are the absolute source of the magic you have been desperately seeking. When you reclaim your gold, you stop seeing them as your savior. You start seeing them as a fellow traveler. The third and final shift is the quantum release. This is the most difficult move to make. It is also the most powerful. You must completely drop the energetic rope. Right now, the avoidant soul is pushing against your intense desire for union. They are using your energetic pursuit as a solid wall. They brace themselves against your anxiety to justify their distance. What happens when you suddenly drop the rope? They instantly lose their resistance. The wall they were leaning against completely vanishes. Suddenly, they are left standing in the empty space. They are left face to face with their own unhealed soul. Releasing them does not mean giving up on the connection. It does not mean closing your heart out of bitterness. It means completely surrendering the outcome. It means saying that you love them enough to let them wander in the dark. It means trusting them to find their own way to the light. But it also means you will no longer wait in the dark with them. You stop sending your precious life force across the quantum field to sustain them. You call all your energy back into your own physical vessel. Nature absolutely abhors a vacuum. When you completely withdraw your anxious energy, you create a massive energetic void. In the strict laws of quantum dynamics, that vacuum demands to be filled. It is only in this space of true, profound release that the unawakened counterpart finally feels the heavy, undeniable weight of your absence. They have not forgotten you. It is biologically, psychologically, and spiritually impossible to forget the soul that holds your blueprint. Somewhere in the quiet moments between their distractions, they feel the phantom hum of the tuning fork. They feel the gravity of the moon. They know in the deepest recesses of their unconscious mind that they have encountered something that altered the trajectory of their existence forever. But your job is not to manage their awakening. Your job is not to stand by the window, exhausted, waiting for a ghost to return. Your job is to rise. Your job is to build a life so beautiful, so rich, so deeply anchored in your own sovereign power that you become entirely unshakable. Let them wrestle with the mirror. Let them navigate their shadow. You have your own empire of the soul to tend to. When you finally realize that you are the anchor, the entire dynamic shifts. You are no longer the anxious heart. You are the master of your own frequency. And in that state of profound peace, the universe moves mountains. Until next time, hold your orbit